Sometimes the most captivating machines are the ones that refuse to fit neatly into a category. They bridge worlds, rewrite expectations, and challenge what enthusiasts thought they knew about performance. Imagine a vehicle that takes the precision of a sports car and mixes it with the grit of an off-roader, one that looks as comfortable on a rally stage as it does on a luxury boulevard. It is a curious balance between heritage and rebellion, a statement that performance can thrive beyond pavement. Today, we dive into a creation that did exactly that, one that has redefined what a supercar can do when the road ends. This story explores the engineering courage, design philosophy, and surprising practicality behind a machine that turned tradition on its head. Stay tuned, like and subscribe if you enjoy deep dives into automotive evolution, and comment below to tell us which legend we should explore next. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 is more than a limited edition experiment. It is a proof of concept that performance no longer has to live within the lines of tarmac. When Porsche first hinted at an off-road version of its flagship 911, many assumed it would be a marketing stunt, a nod to the brand's rally past and nothing more. But the final result is not a novelty. It is a sophisticated, purpose-built supercar engineered to survive the extremes of sand, snow, and stone while still carrying the unmistakable DNA of Stuttgart's icon. To understand why this matters, we need to start with how the 911 has always defined itself. For decades, it was the standard of precision driving, rear engine, rear-wheel drive, obsessively balanced, endlessly refined. Every generation was a conversation between purity and progress, a dialogue about how far evolution could go without losing identity. So when engineers decided to lift it several inches, fit it with all-terrain tires, and give it rally-style suspension, it felt almost heretical. Yet, Porsche had quietly been preparing for this move for years. The concept of a high-riding 911 is not new. In the 1980s, Porsche took part in the grueling Paris-Dakar rally with the 953 and 959 models, both designed to endure the planet's harshest terrain. Those cars were experimental, but their influence echoed through the company's engineering culture. The 911 Dakar 2024 is the modern translation of that rally heritage, blending nostalgia with technology. Underneath its widened stance lies a reinforced chassis designed to absorb punishment no normal sports car could endure. The suspension travel has been increased dramatically, the underbody armored with aluminum plates, and the ride height adjustable by the driver at speed. It can raise itself to clear rocks or lower itself for aerodynamic efficiency on highway runs. The tires are a critical piece of the puzzle, specially developed Pirelli Scorpion all-terrain plus units that balance grip and resilience. They give the 911 Dakar 2024 a character unlike any 911 before it. The car feels muscular yet agile, tough yet precise. Inside, Porsche stripped weight but kept luxury. Lightweight bucket seats, Alcantara surfaces, and optional roll cages recall the brand's competition roots while maintaining refinement. Every touchpoint still feels like a 911, but the tone has changed. It feels ready for the unpredictable. From a mechanical standpoint, the heart of the 911 Dakar 2024 remains familiar. It uses the twin-turbocharged 3.0-liter flat-six from the 911 Carrera 4 GTS, delivering around 473 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. That output channels through an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission and an advanced all-wheel drive system tuned for variable traction conditions. The numbers alone do not tell the story. What defines the Dakar is how its systems interact under stress. Drive modes named Rally and Off-Road recalibrate throttle response, torque distribution, and differential behavior to maintain control on unstable surfaces. The car uses sensors to detect grip levels in milliseconds, adjusting power delivery faster than the driver can react. It even features a launch control function designed for gravel, a wild but perfectly engineered contradiction. These technologies reflect Porsche's broader philosophy: precision before spectacle. Where other performance brands might overcompensate with brute force, the 911 Dakar 2024 favors intelligence and adaptability. It is not trying to dominate the off-road world, it is proving that the essence of performance is flexibility. The development process was just as unconventional. Porsche tested prototypes across deserts in Morocco, frozen lakes in Sweden, dunes in Dubai, and rocky passes in Colorado. Engineers pushed the limits of cooling, durability, and aerodynamics to make sure that the car could transition seamlessly from sand to asphalt without compromise. In doing so, they confronted one of the brand's biggest philosophical questions: can a sports car remain true to itself when it becomes something entirely different? The 911 Dakar 2024 answers that question not with words but with balance. It is equally at home sideways on gravel as it is carving mountain switchbacks. The steering remains alive, the feedback precise, and the power delivery instant. The sound of the flat six resonates differently through the open air of a dusty trail. The experience feels primal yet refined. This fusion of contradictions is what gives the Dakar its identity. From the outside, the changes are subtle but purposeful. The raised body sits on flared fenders, with tow hooks, a fixed rear spoiler, and optional roof-mounted accessories like lights and a cargo rack. The front bumper features additional vents for cooling, while the hood uses carbon fiber reinforced plastic to cut weight. Every design choice serves a function. Even the color palette tells a story, with paint schemes inspired by classic rally liveries. The visual drama is balanced by an underlying restraint. This is still a 911, not a caricature of one. The weight increase over the standard Carrera 4 GTS is modest considering the reinforcements, proving Porsche's engineers understood the delicate balance between strength and agility. Owners who have driven the 911 Dakar 2024 on mixed terrain often describe it as liberating. It removes the fear of imperfect roads. The driver no longer avoids gravel or potholes but embraces them. That psychological shift is significant because it redefines what a performance car can mean to its owner. The joy of driving is no longer limited to curated conditions or pristine pavement. For decades, sports cars symbolized precision but also limitation. They were too low, too delicate, too specialized. The 911 Dakar 2024 shatters that mold. It is not about breaking records on a racetrack but about unlocking experiences. That shift reflects a broader trend in the automotive world, the pursuit of versatility without sacrificing personality. Porsche understood that the modern driver values adventure as much as acceleration. As the first segment of this story shows, the 911 Dakar 2024 represents more than an engineering experiment. It marks a cultural shift in what defines performance. The next step is understanding how this philosophy evolved within Porsche's development process and what it reveals about the future of the 911 lineage. The story of the Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 deepens when we explore how it came to life within a company that rarely moves without purpose. Porsche's engineering teams did not wake up one morning and decide to lift a 911. The idea had been germinating for years, quietly supported by internal tests and customer curiosity. When the Cayenne and Mekong proved that Porsche could build capable off-roaders without diluting its brand, engineers gained the confidence to experiment further. Still, transforming the 911, the crown jewel of the lineup, was a high-stakes gamble. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 had to satisfy two extremes: the loyal purists who worship the 911's road precision and the modern explorers craving freedom beyond asphalt. That dual mission required rethinking every mechanical interface. Porsche's chassis department worked on new damper systems capable of adapting in milliseconds. Instead of focusing only on stiffness and cornering grip, they engineered compliance, ensuring the car could handle compressions and rebound forces that would cripple a normal sports coupe. To validate their work, the team took the 911 Dakar 2024 to test grounds where number 911 had ever been. They ran endurance sessions across volcanic rock in Spain's Canary Islands, tackled frozen trails near the Arctic Circle, and powered through dunes deep in the Sahara. Each environment exposed weaknesses that led to redesigns. Early prototypes overheated under deep sand loads. Engineers responded with new airflow channels behind the front wheels. Suspension arms were reinforced with aluminum and high-strength steel. The result was a car capable of taking repeated landings without frame fatigue. That iterative approach defines Porsche's DNA, continuous refinement through real-world testing. The powertrain calibration also reveals a fascinating level of complexity. In the Porsche 911 Dakar 2024, the engine management software does more than deliver power, it interprets terrain. Sensors read wheel slip, steering angle, throttle position, and yaw rate to predict grip loss before it happens. The system can send up to 80% of torque to the rear for traditional 911 handling or redistribute instantly when the surface changes. The effect is uncanny. Drivers describe feeling as if the car reads their intentions, correcting slides smoothly rather than abruptly. In rally mode, stability control relaxes just enough to allow drift angles without losing traction. The sensation is not chaos but controlled artistry. This engineering finesse extends to the transmission. Porsche's 8-speed dual-clutch unit, long praised for lightning-fast shifts, was reprogrammed for torque delivery rather than outright speed. In sand or gravel, smoothness matters more than milliseconds. Engineers also developed a new cooling strategy for the gearbox to prevent heat buildup during long off-road sessions. These details might seem invisible, but they define why the 911 Dakar 2024 feels cohesive rather than compromised. Inside Porsche's design studio, the challenge was psychological as much as technical. Designers had to make the cabin feel rugged yet unmistakably premium. The team incorporated lightweight materials without making the interior feel stripped. Door pulls replaced handles for weight savings. Carbon fiber trim coexists with Alcantara surfaces. The philosophy was clarity of purpose, nothing unnecessary, everything functional. The optional rally design package captures nostalgia by echoing the 1984 Paris-Dakar winner's livery. But beneath the retro graphics lies a very modern story: precision manufacturing that meets modern safety and sustainability standards. Even the color matching process was complex because dirt and dust reflect differently on metallic paint than on solid finishes. Such attention to detail illustrates Porsche's obsession with execution. The 911 Dakar 2024 project also had cultural weight inside the company. Some executives initially feared it would confuse the market. Was it a sports car, a rally car, or a crossover? But as prototypes circulated internally, skepticism faded. Test drivers returned from trials with broad smiles, engineers began referring to it as a revelation, and marketing realized they had a narrative unlike any competitors. The world did not need another ultra-fast 911, it needed a 911 with new purpose. When the production car was revealed, it immediately drew attention not just for its capabilities but for what it represented: Porsche's willingness to challenge its own mythology. That self-challenge resonates with a new generation of buyers who see adventure and performance as compatible rather than opposing forces. Beyond the spectacle, the 911 Dakar 2024 speaks to a deeper trend within the industry. Electrification, regulation, and environmental pressures are reshaping the definition of performance. As brands pivot toward efficiency and sustainability, emotional engagement risks being lost. The Dakar reminds enthusiasts why mechanical passion still matters. Its combustion engine, while efficient by modern standards, delivers a sensory experience that no battery pack can replicate. Yet it is not anti-future. It integrates advanced controls and lightweight construction that will inform hybrid and electric Porsches to come. The balance between analog emotion and digital precision is what makes the 911 Dakar 2024 significant. From an economic perspective, the car also proves that niche products can influence mainstream strategy. The limited production run sold out rapidly, and the waiting list grew almost instantly. That demand sent a clear message: consumers are hungry for innovation that feels authentic, not just incremental. Rivals took note, and other manufacturers have begun exploring similar blends of luxury and capability. In a sense, the 911 Dakar 2024 sparked a ripple effect, demonstrating that evolution need not be constrained by category. Technically, the Dakar's success reinforces Porsche's mastery of modular architecture. The engineers leveraged existing components from the 911 Carrera 4 GTS and adapted them intelligently, avoiding the expense of building a unique platform. This efficiency makes the project sustainable from a business standpoint and ensures that lessons learned can be applied to future 911s. Even within the company's electric division, engineers study the Dakar's suspension geometry and torque management for potential use in next-generation EVs. The off-road supercar has become a laboratory for future innovation. Every decision around the Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 reflects an ongoing dialogue between past and future. The car honors the 959's rally victories while embracing modern technology and environmental mindfulness. That dual identity explains its universal appeal. It speaks to enthusiasts who revere history and to dreamers who crave progress. As the second act of this story reveals, the Dakar was not built merely to perform but to provoke thought. What happens when we remove the boundaries of what a sports car should be? The next segment explores that cultural and emotional impact, tracing how the Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 is influencing not only drivers but the entire philosophy of performance mobility. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 represents more than an engineering milestone. It marks a cultural turning point for what performance means in a world that values both thrill and adaptability. When this model reached showrooms, its influence began to ripple far beyond Porsche's customer base. It challenged long-held assumptions about what defines a sports car. The 911 Dakar 2024 demonstrated that driving passion does not need to be confined to racetracks or mountain passes. It can extend into deserts, forests, and frozen lakes. That simple idea resonated with a new generation of enthusiasts seeking freedom, not perfection. The emotional core of the Dakar lies in its balance of contradictions. It is luxurious but adventurous, fast yet unafraid to get dirty. Owning one is less about showing status and more about claiming possibility. When drivers take the 911 Dakar 2024 off paved roads, they experience the purity of control that Porsche has refined for decades, but they feel it in an entirely new setting. This transformation redefines ownership itself. It invites drivers to rediscover roads they used to avoid. It is no longer about arriving first, it is about going where others cannot. That philosophical shift has broader implications for how performance brands view their future. Within Porsche, the 911 Dakar 2024 sparked internal conversations about versatility as a form of luxury. The company realized that capability enhances desirability. As electric vehicles become dominant, this lesson is crucial. Emotional engagement will come not only from acceleration but from access, the ability to explore without limits. The Dakar proves that thrill and responsibility can coexist. It delivers excitement without excess, precision without fragility. From a design standpoint, it also influences future aesthetics. The mix of functional ruggedness and sculpted elegance is shaping how Porsche and other manufacturers approach styling. Customers are beginning to favor vehicles that look prepared for anything while retaining sophistication. The visual language of the 911 Dakar 2024, flared arches, upright stance, purposeful accessories, signals competence without aggression. It communicates confidence rather than dominance. This is the new face of performance. Athletic, intelligent, and adaptable. Beyond the showroom, the car's cultural presence continues to grow. It has become a fixture in documentaries, endurance events, and creative collaborations that emphasize exploration over competition. Enthusiasts use the 911 Dakar 2024 as a bridge between city life and wilderness, documenting journeys that combine high design with raw experience. In social media communities, the car represents an aspirational kind of freedom, not the pursuit of speed records but the freedom to choose any path. Even among those who will never own one, the fascination remains strong because the concept is relatable, turning limitations into opportunity. The influence extends to the aftermarket scene as well. Independent builders and tuners now explore safari conversions inspired by the Dakar's success, proving how deeply the idea has penetrated automotive culture. These builds, while unofficial, celebrate the same ethos of versatility. They highlight how the Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 reignited creativity within a space that had grown repetitive. From a market standpoint, the model also redefines exclusivity. Traditional limited editions rely on rarity alone, the Dakar relies on capability. Its value is measured not just by production numbers but by the experiences it enables. Owners report taking their cars on long overland trips, cross-country rallies, and alpine adventures. These stories humanize the brand, moving it beyond luxury and into lifestyle. It is performance as participation. Environmental awareness adds another layer of significance. Porsche has committed to sustainable production methods, and the 911 Dakar 2024 benefits from lighter materials, efficient assembly, and reduced emissions relative to older generations. It reflects a company aware of its responsibilities while preserving the emotional thrill of driving. The Dakar's success proves that responsibility and enjoyment can evolve together. Looking at its broader influence, rival manufacturers now face a question once reserved for Porsche: how do you make performance relevant to an audience that values both capability and conscience? Many have begun developing their own all-terrain performance concepts, validating the Dakar's impact. Yet none carry the same authenticity, because Porsche's history with rallying lends legitimacy. The 911 Dakar 2024 did not appear out of nowhere, it emerged from decades of trial, victory, and learning. It is the rare case where nostalgia and innovation intersect seamlessly. In cultural terms, the Dakar also rekindled appreciation for analog skill. In an age of automation, the car rewards human input. Its systems assist but never replace the driver. Mastering it on loose terrain requires sensitivity, timing, and confidence. This quality appeals to enthusiasts who fear the decline of engagement in modern vehicles. The 911 Dakar 2024 offers reassurance that technology can enhance connection rather than remove it. It reminds us that performance is not only about numbers but about how a machine makes us feel. The emotional payoff of this car lies in the moments when it transcends its specifications. A flat-six engine note echoing through open desert, tires clawing through loose gravel, the feeling of control on surfaces that defy predictability. These sensations cannot be measured but define why enthusiasts fall in love with driving. The Dakar brings that emotion to new landscapes, proving that adventure is the next frontier for performance. Even in the digital age, such authenticity commands attention. Automotive design, at its best, mirrors human aspiration. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 embodies that truth. It represents evolution without betrayal, progress without pretense. It is not a departure from the 911 legacy but an expansion of it, one that keeps the lineage relevant in a changing world. As more brands embrace electrification and automation, the Dakar stands as a reminder that character still matters. Its message is simple yet powerful: innovation is most meaningful when it preserves joy. In that sense, the 911 Dakar 2024 is not just an off-road supercar, it is a symbol of balance, between old and new, control and freedom, performance and possibility. That balance is what makes its story worth remembering. As we reach the final stretch of this exploration, the last segment will bring everything full circle: what the Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 ultimately means for the brand, for enthusiasts, and for the future of driving itself. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 closes its story where it began, with the idea that boundaries are meant to be explored, not avoided. In the modern era of performance cars, few machines have managed to alter expectations as effectively as this one. When it first appeared, many wondered whether it would dilute the purity of the 911 name. Instead, it elevated it. The car proved that identity is not about conformity but about consistency of spirit. Every generation of the 911 has faced a question about change, water cooling, turbocharging, electrification, and each time, the model has adapted without losing its core. The Dakar continues that tradition. It does not apologize for being different, it celebrates evolution. For Porsche, this model serves as both a tribute and a roadmap. It honors the achievements of the rally-winning 953 and 959, while pointing toward a future where versatility defines desirability. The lessons learned from the Dakar's suspension tuning, traction management, and chassis reinforcement are already informing new projects. They will shape the next era of sports cars that must navigate both environmental responsibility and emotional connection. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 stands as proof that innovation does not require compromise when guided by discipline. It shows that performance is not just about speed but about confidence, control, and character under any condition. For the brand, this realization is transformative. It widens the path for creativity while preserving heritage. The success of the Dakar validates risk-taking inside a company historically cautious about change. It empowers engineers to experiment, designers to imagine bolder forms, and customers to embrace new possibilities. For drivers, the car delivers something even rarer: freedom without fear. They can explore backroads, mountain passes, or open deserts with the same confidence they feel on a racetrack. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 redefines adventure not as escape but as engagement. It is about meeting the world on your own terms, wherever the road or the terrain may lead. On a broader scale, it redefines luxury. No longer limited to comfort and exclusivity, true luxury now includes capability and authenticity. The Dakar's value lies not in how many were built but in what it inspires. It has encouraged owners to share experiences, to document journeys, and to reconnect with the essence of driving. It has also inspired automakers to rethink what their icons could become if freed from convention. The 911 Dakar 2024 demonstrates that reinvention need not erase legacy, it can amplify it. Its message resonates far beyond the showroom floor. Excellence is not static, and innovation is most powerful when rooted in respect for history. As the automotive world accelerates toward electrification and autonomy, that message feels more urgent than ever. Machines like the Dakar remind us that driving can still be emotional, tactile, and deeply human. They remind us that progress means expanding experience, not replacing it. The Porsche 911 Dakar 2024 will be remembered not only for where it could go but for what it made possible, a renewed belief that the spirit of performance can adapt to any landscape. In that sense, it completes a circle that began decades ago on dusty rally stages and continues into an unknown but promising future. It is both the echo of history and the sound of tomorrow. The journey of the Dakar proves that innovation guided by passion always finds its way forward. And as every 911 enthusiast knows, the road ahead is never a limit, it is an invitation.